Hey there and welcome back. Today once again we're going to dive into the world of Enshrouded. Now remember my previous video where I was less than impressed with the Rake? Well, guess I was wrong. So today I'm here to set the Rake card straight. Let's get into it. Now before we jump in, I want to give a huge shout out to Threat Menace for enlightening me on the mechanics of the Rake. If you haven't already, you should check out their content. Now let's rake up the details. The Rake can level or slope terrain. The trick, however, and this is where I was wrong, is to hold down the mouse button while leveling. And I blame partly Valheim for misunderstanding this technique. Alright, now to flatten terrain with the Rake, it's crucial to pay attention to the concentric circles. These circles are not just indicators of the affected area, they also show the Rake's angle. To achieve a perfectly flat surface, you need to align these circles so they are completely horizontal. This alignment ensures that your Rake is set to evenly level the ground without any slopes. Once you've set the angle, now aim your Rake at the ground you want to level from. Then keep holding the left mouse button while leveling the terrain around you. This should either raise or lower the terrain aligned with the starting point. There is of course a limit on how much terrain can be lowered or raised, so you might have to either mine some away or add some terrain. If you would like to learn more about that, you should check out this video here. Just forget I mentioned the Rake is stupid. Moving on to the sloped terrain. The technique involves a slight adjustment of the circles. By tilting these circles to match your desired slope angle, you dictate the Rake's inclination. This way you can create slopes that ascend or descend at the precise angle you need. And once again, once you're happy with the angle, you can just use the same approach as leveling the terrain. Aim at the starting point and keep holding the button until you have the desired slope. There are several terrain types in Enshrouded, and I assume there will be many more. But it was requested to share them and their locations, so let's take a minute to dig through them. The first 5 terrain types should be pretty easy to access as they are close and in the beginning of the playthrough. This is dirt, stone, farm soil and flower bed. Obtaining dirt is very easy, you just mine away the grass layer and that is going to give you dirt. Below that you will find stone, which then can give you a stone layer, or you just mine stone rocks as well. Farm soil can either be crafted or found. Crafting can be done with the farmer, finding it can be done nearby in Woodguard. And there we can also find the flower bed and even dirt road. So let's do that right now. So let's open the map. And you should find the Springland's Ancient Spire, which should be one of the first spires you have to unlock during this playthrough. So you can just go to the Springland, go to fast travel like that. Alright, so if we look at the map, this is where we need to be, Woodguard. We are at the spire, we just need to jump down and travel here. The homestead and Woodguard. There are some wolves by way here and of course quite a few bees, so be prepared for that. That's where we need to be. You can see down there the farm soil and then the Woodguard in the distance. So we're just going to jump down and use our glider. Alright, here we are. This is the farm soil. This is the dirt road. So if you take your pickaxe, you just mine some of this. And you will get some farm soil, which you can then use to create your own land. Now later when you unlock the farmer, you will be able to craft it as well. So we got some farm soil. There we go. We're going to mine this, which is going to give us another block. Dirt road block. Right here. In the middle of the field, you will find this flower field. If you're mining this, you will get flowered soil. Alright, so now we got these 4 soils, which will be used for terrain later on. Now, I'm going to jump to my other save to show the other ones, because I'm not as far progressed with this one yet. Now, limestone can be found in the Nomad Highlands, and normally you cannot get there. You will have to follow the storyline, get through the Pillars of Creation. You can get there before, if you start mining yourself pathways up the rocks, you can get into this. To get the limestone, you simply start mining some of the rock, and it will give you limestone. And that's the only thing I found so far in this biome. If you mine the ground, you will still get dirt. There's no difference. So just purely limestone and dirt. The next biome is the kindle waste, which is the furthest to the east, and there we'll find 2 more materials. The first one is by mining the stone, which is sandstone, and then the ground you will get sand. Finally, we also have the farmer, which will craft fertilized farm soil by using all this right here. And these should be all the types of terrain I found so far. Now let me just jump back to my other character so I can show you a little technique that might be considered an exploit. So we start with, of course, building our block. So if we open up our construction menu and we go to the terrain list here, for example, the terrain on the bottom, you will now see that I have this whole selection here. We got stone, we got dirt, we got farm soil, we got flower soil, and we got road dirt block. So now I can actually just place these blocks. I'm going to place one here. We're going to place a flower bed here. We're going to place the farm soil here. Then we have the dirt, which is actually grass. So this will not make any difference. And then we have the stone. And we could actually delete some terrain just to make sure that it's visible that this is... Alright, now I got all 4 types of terrain right here. We can now expand those without the use of any extra materials. If you look in my inventory, you can see I have none of them in my inventory anymore. I just want to show you what you can do with that, because now I can go on the farm road. I can aim at the farm road and make sure that my is level. We don't want to have it angled this time. We can just keep on extending this, and I'm actually building farm road or dirt road out. And I didn't use anything, so I can just keep on expanding this. Make sure that I'm starting on the terrain. And we can make another road going that direction. No problem. And the only thing I needed was 1 dirt road block. The same with the bed. We can just take the bed here, aim at it, and just move it out. And I think this might be something that they might fix in the future, because this feels like this might be an exploit. And the funny thing is, if I now take my pickaxe, I can now mine and get flower soil instead. As you can see, I'm now picking up the flower soil, and I'm getting way more than I started with. I can go back to my rake, flatten the terrain again, and I can mine it all again, and I am actually generating farm soil. And there you have it. The rake is more useful and powerful than I thought. So once again, I want to thank Threat Menace for sharing his video. Definitely go and check him out. If you found your own techniques or ways to use the rake, drop them in a comment below. I love to hear your tips and tricks, and maybe I make a video about it. And if you haven't already, check out some of my previous videos for more Enshrouded tips and tricks. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Beeblebum out.